You're here with Olivia from the YouTube channel Being Real with Olivia. I'm sure you've heard of it. And I'm about to give you an offer you can't refuse. You ring that notification bell and hit that subscribe button and get me to 1K subscribers. And in return, I'll give you a free review of the movie The Godfather. Or else. Now let's get started. Now, I assume most of you guys have heard of or seen this movie since it came out in 1972. It was directed by Francis Ford Coppola and stars Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and James Caan. Now, this movie is what a lot of people like to call a mob movie, short for mobster movie. Now, in this movie, there is like 5 main big mafia families. And one of the families, the Corleones, is where the story takes place. Don Vito Corleone is the godfather, who's the main leader of this family, but all the other mafia families and gangs know of him. He's incredibly respected and is all about making things fair. He has a lot of power, but he's willing to share it for those who deserve it and are willing to do something for him in return. Now, the Godfather, played by Don Vito Corleone, is played by Marlon Brando, who was phenomenal in this movie. And his sons, Sonny, played by James Caan, Michael, played by Al Pacino, and Fredo, played by John Cazale. And they also work for him. Sonny is a hot-headed, temperamental son who likes to run into things without really thinking, and basically his solution to everything is killing. Michael is a war veteran son who did not want to be a part of the father's business. He wanted a clean life, maybe be a politician or the president or senator, a good man. But things didn't exactly go as planned for him. And Fredo is Fredo. Just watched this movie and still don't know what he really is. He's just kind of there. He's not that important. Now that you kind of know the family a little, the Godfather is old. He's getting to the age now where he wants to retire. He's been doing this business a lot, and it's exhausting. So he's kind of transferring slowly his power over to his sons to see which one will take his place. Tom Hagen, played by Robert Duvall, is their adopted son. He's not actually their son, but the Godfather took him in as a little boy. He's their family's advisor. Now, since I'm guessing like a lot of you guys have seen this movie, there is going to be some spoilers, but I'm not going to go into like a detailed explanation of the spoilers. So even if you like haven't seen this movie, you'll be fine. I'm just going to say the main events that happen in chronological order of this movie. Okay, so the opening scene is the wedding. The Godfather's daughter is getting married, and while she's at her wedding, everybody's dancing, having fun. He's like talking business proposals. He's having people go up to him and they're like, Godfather, please help. This person did this to me and messed with blah, blah, blah. I need you to do something in return. Like, I need you to kill them or hurt them badly and send them a message. And then the Godfather's like, okay, if I do this for you, then a couple years down the road or whenever I need you to do something for me, you'll have to do it. So we don't really know anything yet, but we can kind of see that this dude has a lot of power and he can get things done. Okay, and then the second, like, main thing that happens in the movie is as these guys are kind of, like, carrying out orders and, like, doing bad stuff, then the attack on the Godfather happens. Someone attempts to take the Godfather's life. Now, I'm not going to say if he actually lives or dies, in case you've never seen this movie or you don't remember and you want to rewatch it. But he got shot 5 times. The next big thing is Michael's vengeance. He ends up killing 2 guys, a corrupt police officer and one of the main bad guys who tried to take his dad's life. Now, this was one of the most intense scenes of the movie because a gun is planted in the bathroom since Michael can't carry a gun on him since these 2, like, searched him to make sure he wasn't carrying a weapon. They meet in, like, this little restaurant to, like, you know, get rid of all the bad blood since business is business and the bad guy, like, had to attempt to kill the dad since the dad screwed him over for something. So basically, there's a gun hidden in the bathroom for Michael to use, but we also don't know if it's actually there and in like an easy spot to find. We're kind of just trusting this person that Michael had hide the gun. So at one point during the meeting, he excuses himself to use the restroom, and that's when things got really intense. Now, Michael wanted a clean slate. He just did not want to follow in his dad's footsteps at all. But after killing these two people, he's wrapped up in it now too. So he has to flee the country for a little bit. And for a little bit, I mean like a year, to cover up his tracks so nobody finds him. Michael's older brother, Sonny, takes over the family business for a little bit temporarily. But Sonny's hot-headed, violent, and very irrational, so he ends up getting himself killed, leaving someone else to take over the family. Now, in the final scene of the movie, the final big thing, the new person, the new brother who took over the family business, ended up simultaneously orchestrating all the murders of a ton of people, of all their family's enemies. And there was a bit of a metaphorical situation going on here, because they were all at a church watching a baptism happen for one of the family's new babies. And during the baptism, the new Godfather, the son who took over the business now, had his hitmen kill all these people during the ceremony, but like in the background, behind the scenes. So this symbolism shows this dude's like complete transformation from innocent and having like, you know, not really being a part of things, to becoming a ruthless, violent leader. So those were kind of like the main things that happened in this movie in chronological order. Now, this movie, The Godfather, is amazing for so many different reasons. The acting was phenomenal. Each of these characters played their roles so well. Now, since this movie is older, there's no like over-the-top dramatic acting to like make themselves known. This movie is longer. It's like almost 3 hours long, but it felt like it went so fast. I mean, I swear, these new movies coming out nowadays that are only like 2 hours or an hour and 30 minutes, they feel just as long as The Godfather. Because the movie The Godfather didn't feel long at all. The pacing wasn't that bad because there was intense, fun scenes going on. It wasn't just like a straight up action movie where these mafia people were killing people the whole time. It wasn't like some James Bond, John Wick movie. This first movie was like a simple kind of introducing the characters at the beginning, and they were kind of showing like what the family does and how this family is incredibly powerful, but they're contained. They don't abuse their power like every single day, constantly. Obviously, this family, the Corleones, they're not good people. I mean, they're literally like mobsters, so these aren't like good people, but they still have their limits. Like, they do business in money. So like, they'll rob a place, like a bank or a casino, and they'll be like, hey, if you give me all this money and pay me, I'll protect your building and your establishment so stuff like this doesn't happen again. They don't do drugs though. Like, they draw the line, The Godfather does, at like gun selling and drugs. So obviously they're still bad people, like they're mobsters, but they're not as bad as the cartel, which just handles with drugs and guns. They gotta draw the line somewhere. Now, like I, went on for a little bit before I went sidetracked, the acting was simple. I feel like nowadays in every movie, the actors are constantly like competing in a film for who can be like, the most there. Like, who gets the spotlight, who can like be the loudest or the most obnoxious. Like in the Minecraft movie I just watched, I mean, like that movie, loved the actors, but there was constant like chaos with them. Like, somebody was always talking super high pitched. Steve and Garrett, the garbage guy, were like going back and forth. I mean, Steve was like yelling. He was like up here the whole time when he was like in the movie. Even when he said hi, he'd be like, hi! The Godfather is more of a classier movie with classier acting, and it was a lot better written. Like, once again, not bashing on any of these movies coming out, because some of them I did enjoy, like Companion, Death of a Unicorn, the Minecraft movie, but they're not well written like The Godfather was. This movie had genius writing and a phenomenal director. It just felt very elegant. Like, the vibes it gave off was an elegant, organized movie. The plot wasn't messy or all over the place. They weren't like going here, then here, then here, then here. There wasn't like a deeper twist to the movie or unpredictably messy. It was just a mafia family trying to maintain their hold of power, and they'll do anything for each other, and do anything to keep it. Nowadays, if you make a movie like that, you're gonna have John Wick doing backflips off people and like doing all these crazy stunts, and there's gonna be loud music and over-the-top action and acting, which, hey, I love The Matrix, I love John Wick, I love all that stuff, but it was refreshing to see an older movie that was very, like, chill. There was something almost more, like, intense about it on how these people were so calm, but also murdering people and kind of doing some stuff in the black market. It was very intimidating and just as threatening as someone who's like beating people up in the background, if not more threatening, to see a calm and collected man who's just like plotting their vengeance. Now, the line "business is business" is an iconic line in the movie because nothing is personal with these like mafia people. I mean, it was personal when Michael like killed the corrupted cop and the main guy who attempted to kill his dad, but nothing else is really personal. It's all just for business. Like, if you kill someone in this movie, it's because they're screwing your business over and they're gonna make you go broke. Or they're gonna end up making you lose power. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal like you didn't get invited to their baby shower, so you're gonna curse their child, and when they turn 16 years old, they're gonna fall asleep for like 1,000 years. That was a Maleficent reference. It was very personal with her. She's a diva though, so it's okay. For these guys, they're classy. They don't do revenge because they're all in cahoots with each other and could eventually need each other in the future. Respectable. I'd say, in my opinion, this movie holds up very well. I did love this movie a lot. I don't think a lot of people in like these new generations would like it anymore though, based on like the new types of movies that are coming out. I grew up, I mean, you guys know my dad, Adam, from Adam Does Movies. He is a huge movie buff, obviously. He has a YouTube channel too, 100,000 subscribers. And even before, like, you know, he became super big on YouTube, he's always loved movies. So when me and Connor were little, he'd like show us a ton of his favorite movies that he grew up watching. So I'm kind of used to seeing like all types of different movies, like the newer ones that are coming out, which is just like junk pretty much, and the old classic ones. But if you showed the movie The Godfather to someone born in like 2016, in the future, they're probably not going to appreciate it as much. So I'd say it held up to me, but I don't know if it would hold up to other people my age. Just because the movie is long and it could get boring to some people, but not to me. Now, The Godfather is considered by a lot of people to be one of the greatest movies ever made. I wouldn't say it's the greatest. I wouldn't even say it's like my top 3 favorite movies. I'd say it was beautifully directed, beautifully written, and if I was gonna give like any movie an award for being the best in that sense, I would. Because its exploration of power, family, organized crime was just produced beautifully and in like an amazing way without having to be messy and sloppy or overdone like a John Wick action movie. The screenplay and acting was phenomenal. So I would say it is the best movie ever made in that sense for having all those things. But on like the entertainment level for how entertaining it is, I'd say it did drag at some parts. Like when Michael goes off to Italy for over a year. And it is older. Like, even though it still holds up really well, it's to an extent. Like, I could definitely watch this movie again, but since it is so long, I don't think I could watch it, like, every month. Or even, like, as a comfort film. I wouldn't say it's, like, really a comfort film of mine, just because it is really long. But I definitely think everybody should see this movie at least once. Or at least some of it. Like, just give it a try at least, because it is a phenomenal movie. There is 3 movies. I've only seen the first one so far. A lot of people think the second one's even better than the first one. My dad loves the second one. The first and second are really good. But the third one is really controversial. I know my dad hates it, thinks it's horrible. Some people like the third one, so I'll be interested to see that one too. But there is 3 movies, and this one is the shortest. And what I like so far about the second and third movie is they still follow the Corleone family. It's not like the thing where the first movie is with these people, second movie is like a legacy of these people. It's still with the same family, which is nice. By the second movie, I've heard things really kick up. I think the reason why this movie is a little longer and can be kind of slow in some parts is because they have to build up the family's legacy and who these people are, which is a big pro, because I think the reason why a lot of movies are kind of junky and are just not that great coming out nowadays is because they don't build up the lore and the tensions behind the characters. We're just shown like, oh, here's a character, he's gonna be really tough and like awesome, and he's gonna go fight a bunch of guys now. Like, we don't really have a personal connection to any of these people anymore, any of these characters. But in this movie, it does take its time to develop the tensions in characters. We kind of see all their attributes, what they're like, so then when they drastically change throughout the movie, or something happens to them, we're like, oh my goodness, and we actually care. Now, one of the most memorable, awesome scenes I would like to touch on really quick and just talk about is the horse scene. Some random guy, another mobster, not related to this family, kind of doing their own sketchy thing, screws the Coraline family over. So the Godfather retaliates. And when this dude wakes up the next morning, there's blood all over him, and he slowly peels back the covers, and you kind of think like, oh, it looks like he got stabbed in the stomach because there's blood just drenching him in the bed. But he peels the covers back even further, and you're like, wait a minute. Even if he did get stabbed in the stomach, how is he still alive, and how is the blood, like, still going? And then when he finally peels the covers back fully, there's a horse's head in his bed. Talk about insane. Like, these people don't mess around. That was a really iconic scene from the movie, because this guy just starts screaming, like a blood-curdling scream, and we're like, that's how they really show you, like, yeah, business is business. You screw these people over, they're gonna retaliate and send a very threatening message. That's not very heartwarming. Now, overall, I'd give this movie a perfect score, a 10 out of 10. I watched it last night, kind of was like starting to fall asleep a little because it was really late. So then like I finished watching it the next morning. And I think that's the way to go. I think if you watch it all in like one sitting, it can get long, but since I kind of like broke it up a little over the course of like a night in the morning, I did appreciate it a lot more, and I was like looking forward and exciting to finish it. Now, if you have seen this movie, I'd love to know in the comments what you think. Also, let me know if you'd be interested in seeing like me reviewing Godfather 2 and 3. And also just let me know your thoughts of my review down below. Make sure to like if you've enjoyed, and like I said earlier, you have to subscribe and ring that notification bell. It's an offer you absolutely cannot refuse. And also, I spent like 40 minutes learning how to tie this just for this review. It was very painful. And stay tuned because we have a lot of big movies coming out. We have live action How to Train a Dragon, Thunderbolts, live action Lilo and Stitch. I hope I'll see you around. And go watch The Godfather if you haven't seen it in a while. Refresh your brain because it is truly a beautiful classic movie. Bye!